Welcome back, Willis Ness.
New year, new me. No, same me.
Same me. We drew this week. I guess it's season 4, episode 4, which is episode
44.
correct. We drew Super Valis IV. Super Valis 4, I'm guessing.
4.
IV. I haven't played any Super Valis games, Josh. Have you?
I have not.
Kind of excited. It's a Atlas game, but before we get into that, do you want me to read the back of the box?
Dude, prepare me for this story you're about to paint.
Well, there's more to the story that we'll get into, but buckle up. I feel like I'm about to tell a bard's tale. Super Valis IV. The most intense threat to Valis Warrior has come to life. Eons ago, in the passage of time, King Gallagher and his generals began a war to possess Gaia world, using the Ring of Titan, which has infinite power. The Lord of Gaia was angered, and it's spelled G-I-Y, not, I guess that's Gaia, same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but why? I want to know why they spelled it differently.
The Lord of Gaia, was angered so greatly by this maneuver, he destroyed the ring and sealed Gallagher and his followers into a crystal pillar buried deep under the sea. One electrified evening, the red moon broke through the clouds and calmed the motion of the sea. The gigantic crystal pillar suddenly rose to the sky with a thunderous noise, parting the sea in two. The rising of the red moon awakened the evil King Gallagher and his generals from the crystal slumber. The Valis warrior, Yuko, also has become a goddess of Valia and attempts a desperate search for a new Valis warrior to defeat Gallagher and his forces. The strongest fighter is Lena Brand, the only hope to save Dreamworld. Lena breaks out of her canty and heads for Castle Vanity, a dream world, beauty now defaced and controlled by Gallagher's general Dagon. Lena is strong and brave, but are the dark forces too much for her? The new Valis warrior is about to be born. It's like, what the fuck? More than what I would bargain for. Now, I'm going to go ahead and back up. I kind of like a game that's got a little bit of a plot to it.
A good plot. A bit of a plot.
And I get it. I ain't played the other Valises, but you really dumped it on me. That's like going straight into like... I know the Final Fantasies are a little bit different, each one, but it's like, you give me a lot here. Maybe a little too much.
Dragon View. It's like being thrown into it.
Well, so does that make you want to go save Valis there, Josh?
Nah, a little bit.
So, here's the exciting part. It was 1991. It was a 1991 game for PC Engine. 92 it came out in Japan, and 1993 in North America. It was developed by Lasersoft. I looked up some of Lasersoft's games. They did games for like Nintendo 64 and stuff. Most of them were like Japanese because it was like that pachinko.
Yeah.
Basically, knowing me and you and our ignorance to Valis, the only damn games we would have ever known is the Valis games. Yeah. Most of them, they had some Game Boy games, they had some TurboGrafx games, but there ain't a damn one of them that I know I haven't heard of. And if you did, it wasn't nothing exciting. I can tell you that. Published in Japan, it was published by Telnet. In America, it was Atlas Software. Yeah, that Atlas Software. So, with that being said, I feel like the one thing when I hear Atlas is expensive.
Yeah.
Atlas games, I think even Pieces was pretty expensive. That was an Atlas game, which was amazing. That is pretty much unlike anything they've ever done or that I've played.
But I'll say that was a completely unique take on an Atlas Software game too.
This was directed by, I'm going to butcher these names, Mitsuo Nakamura, and produced by Masami Hinari. It's supposed to be the fourth and final entry, and it's an action platformer. Now, I don't know a lot of the lore of Valis, so when I come into this game, it's a freaking platformer is what we're playing. Yeah. And it kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of one of the other games we played. As soon as it starts, I had a feel like maybe it's like a Goals and Ghosts, just the way the landscape goes up and down. I don't know.
Yeah, the super ghouls and ghosts. No, not super, but just regular ghouls and ghosts.
Well, yeah. And I guess, you kind of, the sizing of it's kind of like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, I mean, it's not necessarily unfamiliar. But, basically, to add into the plot, this was me paraphrasing what the back of that box said. So, Yuko is the goddess of Vacanti and keeps the peace since Galames was defeated. I'm guessing that was from the previous Valis games. Gallagher searches for magical rings, increases his powers, he loses control. The gods of Vacanti sees this, he imprisons Gallagher inside this crystal and basically throws it in the ocean. Is this what the woman from Titanic had on the back of that fucking boat?
Is this the heart of the sea?
I mean, I'm just saying. When I heard that he got through in the ocean, that's the first fucking thing I seen. And I bet you that's what the Titan Submersible was looking for down there. And they found it. Spoiler alert, they found it. That's what happened.
Is that what happened?
Conspiracy.
Okay.
So basically, after 15 years, he gets out. And he kidnaps the heroes from the other games, Valna. Basically, one of her crew and Lena gets permission to go. I got in here to go get her bitch and bring her sister Amu with her. They get to Galgar's Sanctum. They're defeated right before they get the death blow. They get teleported away and told of this sword and the only way to defeat them, but it's not on this realm.
Oh no!
So this is my next word for word of paraphrasing. They travel to reach the heavens of Vacanti and claim the sword given to him by the goddess Yuko themselves and go kill the fucker. So that's basically the plot twist. Spoiler alert, because I have not made it through this fucking game. I will go ahead and tell you this. Like, there is way more than I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
So I guess, the controls... it's like a basic platformer with the exception of like your special move or whatever, and you can actually do a little bit of button mapping on here, which is
that was nice. Okay. Yeah, that was nice.
But building into this, Josh, is there anything else that I have missed that you would like to add?
No, because I think you summed it up right then and there.
Well. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
I'm actually going to take a quick look here to see what the box art looked at like. And the box art's okay looking. I mean, it kind of looks like Conan top.
Yeah, box art was alright.
Okay, this is coming back to me. I've got some beef. The box art brought something to me. Anyways. You want to go ahead and jump into Make It and Break It for this, Joshua?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead and jump into it. Honestly, I thought the startup was okay.
I got the startup in the Break It. So
okay, that's fine. I can see why.
And it's a little nitpicky, but it ain't like the startup was god awful. But
I say the startup had me prepped for a Gladiator Conan style game.
Right.
I'm saying, okay, this is going to be cool. This is going to be awesome. Because this was our tie-in to American Gladiators or Sequest or whatever.
Right.
However we went into it that way. And so I'm like, okay, I'm fine with this. And besides that, you may hate me. Music-ish was,
It was okay.
I'm not going to put it in the Break It because, I didn't want to mute it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. No. There was far worse things to...
There was far worse... Okay, as you can tell, I tried to find good things to say about this game.
I've got a couple of really good things here. And one thing here, this is kind of a cheap one. Having the customizable options, controls, etc. Like we just mentioned before we got in here. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't Make It. I mean, we have it in the Make It, but it wasn't like I had to... drop back in my seat and take my hat off or turn my hat around backwards when I seen the options. But it was okay. I got the screens between the levels look kind of cool.
They did.
I'll tell you what they reminded me of. Like the way they came out, it reminded me like a Mega Man game.
Yeah.
So it's like, the kind of the side view, like coming at you. And
the only thing that was missing was the villain.
Well, yeah.
Like a Mega Man villain, how they do the still shot of the...
Oh, yeah. Like with the shadow, and then he comes in. Oh, that would have been pretty cool. I forgot about that one in Mega Man. That is pretty cool.
Tell me, Mega Man was before its time.
I do like... When I say this, I like the design of the level. I kind of like it where you go through the level, and then you hit a boss.
Yeah.
So I don't like...
Level boss.
Yeah, or when you go level boss. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It kind of had like a good, I guess it's not the level design, like the structure of it.
Yeah, it had a good flow.
Structure. And what we're going to say when you talk about the bosses have health meters.
Yep.
And that was
nice.
Okay, especially with these sons of bitches,
That was real nice to know.
Okay, let's keep going.
I'm not gonna lie, platforming was okay.
It was okay. This is one that I figured you would come up with. I feel like it's a get good game.
It is a get good game.
You're gonna get smoked your first time playing. You're gonna get smoked probably your 10th time playing it if you're me. But judging by the speed run and some of that, obviously there are some people that got really fucking good at this game. just so you know,
they knew all the stuff coming beforehand.
I'll tell you, one of them's not this big. This is not big for me. This is probably like my second best one, though. I feel like, you got so many games that struggles for a story. This is a story that struggles for a game.
Yeah.
And I know this one is different than a lot of the other Valis games. Like, this is one that is kind of the black sheep of Valis games. So I feel like this being the first Valis game we played is it's an injustice. Yes, it is a crime. Disjustice. I feel like the other Valis games are the true games. Like I feel like
So we got...
This is like saying if you're a Star Wars fan and your favorite character is Jar Jar Binks.
Okay.
Like, I feel like this is how this game is. And I could be wrong, but just with the reception that I've seen.
So we got the redheaded stepchild.
I do believe. And
Valis.
some in the fun facts, it'll kind of come around to why I think some people may not like it. But I feel like we said, a lot of games struggle for a story. This is a story struggles for a game. The story is the main reason behind this game, I feel like. If you dig the story, you're going to love the game. I feel like me and you were a little bit of a injustice, I don't know what you want to call it, but we've never played a Valis, so we jump right in the middle of this shit, and we're trying to figure out, we don't know who Galgar is, we don't know who Lena is, we don't give a shit. Like, I feel like we missed a lot in there, but the story is the strong part of the game. I didn't understand it myself. I dig the backgrounds.
Yeah, backgrounds were pretty decent.
The backgrounds, once again, kind of reminds me of another game. I felt like the backgrounds, not even the levels, but just the backgrounds, kind of had a Castlevania-ish feel.
It did.
And I'm not a Castlevania fan, but I respect the Castlevania. It's not my game, but I will play it if you say, hey, here's a control. And I felt like I stepped into somewhat of a Castlevania game.
Spoiler alert. Guess who made Castlevania?
Who? Atlas?
Well,
okay. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I do know that Atlas made Castlevania.
They make all the Castlevania games, or just a few?
I can't remember. But I do know they made Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Bros. 3. And some Mega Man.
Yeah.
I just can't remember which Mega Mans it was. I can't remember if it was the early Mega Mans, like 1, 2, and 3, or if it was like 5, 6, and 7. I can't remember.
Well, it did have like that feel to it. Now, I'm like say I'm not a Castlevania guy per se myself. I always sucked at the games. I like the aspect behind them.
Again, get good games.
Yeah, it never was it for me. I'd rather play a Mega Man as Castlevania. No knocking it.
Hey, I agree. I'm a more Mega Man person than Castlevania is, but Castlevanias are fun as well.
So this is for me. I've got one more, and it's my big make it.
Okay.
So if you got anything on your heart,
No, because I didn't finish the game, so I don't know how the ending was.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Look at the cover of this son of a bitch right here.
The cover looked nice.
Well, no, not that. So look at this damn son of a bitch on the tiger right here.
Yeah.
So this is what
He-Man.
I thought. I said all the bosses roughly remind me of He-Man battles, especially the one with the fucking tiger.
Yep.
Now, mind you, that a lot of these I know aren't He-Man bosses, but you could have like literally put them in the He-Man cartoon, and I can get down on some Motu, you know, classic. I don't go with
Skeletor.
Yeah, you pick goddamn Skeletor, this motherfucker, and you got a damn crossover event. This is like our damn script we wrote for Fast and the Furious, Chronicles of Riddick, and Triple X.
Triple X.
That's another podcast, another story for another podcast.
If we make that podcast, it'd be great.
I feel like I was playing a Japanese version of He-Man, which He-Man probably is Japanese for all I know.
Pretty sure it is.
But I was like, I did kind of dig the boss designs. I just kind of laughed. It made it entertaining to me. But, that's really all I got that makes this game, Josh. What about you? Do you have anything left on your heart?
No, that was it. But I think this game would have been a lot better if you brought in Skeletor.
Yeah, I feel like you should get that Skeletor meme of, you wouldn't die if you would get good. See you tomorrow, or whatever. That's all for now. And then he runs off, whatever that damn meme is.
Oh, it's information Skeletor or something like that.
God, that's so damn fun.
The unknown informations or information you didn't want to know.
Yes, and it's always like info of like your mom and dad like hooking up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's always funny. All right. Yeah. I got to go ahead and jump into Break It here because you brought it up the first thing on Make It. The startup screen and the story is a bit much.
It's a bit much.
Now, I get it because you're going to have uncultured swine like me and you come in here to play this game that we've never heard of. That's an Atlas game, and people are probably like, oh my God, these fuckers don't know what they're doing. Yeah. And once again, spoiler alert, we don't.
Which is why we're making this.
And, I get it. You're trying to dump a lot of information on us to get us invested in the story.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. I'm just like, fuck, I'm just playing the game. Just want to play the game. And I didn't like that. I think it forces you into that. Every time you play, like you got to keep just give me a start screen, man.
Yeah, I don't think you could skip it.
Well, I think after a minute you could. It was just like, man, sometimes I just want to turn the game on and power through.
Yeah.
Once again, they're wanting to tell you this story, and I feel like you kind of get a bullshit game with it.
Yeah.
Even though I like the background, the sprites were just okay. Like, the enemies and just looking at the visual of your hero and the enemies, they were just okay.
Yeah, nothing to write home about.
Exactly. I felt like they were pretty generic.
Bog standard.
Bog standard?
Yes.
What's that?
Just bog standard.
Like bog enemies, just standard bog enemies?
Yeah, just standard bog enemies, bog standard.
I've never heard that before, but I kind of get it.
It's literally right there in the middle. Like, they're not good, they're not great, they're not bad. It's just right there in the middle. Bog standard.
Here's where we really get to the part that I don't like. It's a big one for me. I didn't really care much for the controls all the way around.
I agree.
I sure as fuck didn't like switching between weapons.
Yep.
That sucked. I hated every minute of it. It was confusing. Of course, we're playing without instruction manuals and stuff like this.
Without the book.
If I had the book, guess what? I'm not reading that book, just like you did when you were a fucking kid.
Yep.
Until you're like, oh, what am I missing here? But I don't know what none of my fucking weapons do.
Nope.
I don't know. I felt like that was very, I ain't gonna say weird, but it was
off-putting to me.
I felt like they put more of an emphasis on all these weapons, and they could have put it in other places.
Yeah.
For instance, rolling into the next one, none of the enemies are notable. The bosses, I like the bosses a little bit. I mean, just the design of them. But none of the enemies are notable, and the combat isn't fun. So we're basically talking about a platformer where I'll get to after we talk about this. Platformers run, jump, fight. the fighting wasn't fun for me.
No, fighting was terrible.
I mean, it wasn't like slit my wrist, I can't stand it, but it was just like, oh, there's another enemy. I'm just going to ignore him or let me kill him. Like, I didn't get satisfaction from killing a single enemy. And as far as the platforming, I thought it felt pretty clunky. Now, here's, I think, where I think you said the platforming is okay, and you are correct, except for the jumping, which is the pretty big part of platforming. So, like, some of the jumping from platform to platform, I get it, like, I mean, even on Mr. Nuts, when you didn't know how to run, like, when you jump, you knew you couldn't make it. Like, there's something that was missing.
Yeah, there was something missing.
This one, I couldn't tell if something was missing, if I was actually going the correct way, or it was just the kind of the jumping was weird, like precise jumping. I did not like. So I couldn't tell if I was really going the right way. Is this the way that I need to go, or is I'm just fucking with this shitty jumping?
Yeah, you're just messing the timing.
So the jumping really made the platforming clunky, is the word I wrote. So at the end of the day, for a platformer, the combat, it wasn't fun. And
platforming wasn't
I'd say 50% of the platforming wasn't real great for me either.
No, it was good. To me, it was all right at best.
Yes. I've got in here again. I don't know what the fuck the power-ups are. And I don't like the way you had to use the power-ups. I can't even remember what it was, but it was a weird button combination to use the power-up.
I thought it was like L and R to cycle, and then I think like Y.
It was like Y down or Y back.
Yeah,
it was something weird.
It was something weird.
I just played it with default controls, so I didn't set my own, but I don't think that would really have saved it. And I've really only got one more break it. You got anything else on you, Josh? I know there's only so many ways you can say this game wasn't fun.
Yeah. My only other one is the levels. Level design was entertaining. By that, I mean like the backgrounds and everything like that. I thought they done pretty good. Platforming was okay at best. I thought the levels were a little too long. With the way the platforming, because, I mean, how many times did you hard reset on platforming itself?
Well, I did not also, since you bring up the hard reset, a lot, because I did not like the way the hard reset came. I mean, hey, it is a task to get through the damn level, but then you get to the boss, and I can guarantee every one of the bosses, I play like 3 of them, they shit wrecked me the first time. They shit wrecked me the second time. Yeah. Like, I was not good at playing the bosses. I didn't watch no walkthroughs. I just went in there as it was, and I do not want to have to start over the way it made you.
Yeah. I was not a fan of that.
This is my big one, and this is what I think really bothered me the most, is the game seems slow. The movement of the character, the walking, the running, like, I get it. There's like that speed power up, and that's cool. And I don't, like, when you think of a platformer where I feel like NES, like Strider, I feel like the character moved quick. I felt like this character moved slow. And the enemies weren't dense. Like, we played so many games where the enemies are just rapidly spawning, like no escape, like some of the Terminators. And so, like, there's always enemies there, but there was just like huge gaps of screen where I'd go and there was no enemy. And so, with the game being like, with our character and the game seeming slow, and the enemies not being dense, I just felt like the whole game lagged. It was like, I felt like, oh, kill an enemy, walk through a screen or two, kill an enemy, jump. Like, I felt like if you're going to make the levels this big, you probably should have put more enemies. Whether you nerfed them down a little bit or not, I just felt like there was a lot of empty space in this game.
Well, I mean, what's the number one rule about playing video games? I mean, if you see enemies, you're heading in the right direction.
Right.
I mean, like I said, if I'm playing and if I don't see any enemies, I'm going to think I'm backtracking.
Yeah, and it was just... It was weird. I mean, it really did feel weird because, I mean, if you had more basics of the platforming, more enemies, I think the speed of your character would have seemed fine, but it just seemed like the whole game was slow to me. And it just wasn't for me. I don't have anything left on my heart with the break it of this, Josh. Is there anything you want to add into this?
No, I think we're good.
So we got, of course, starting our new year, we got price charting, we got some trivia, and we got the speed run. You want me to go through some useless trivia that is not going to matter to us?
Give me that useless trivia.
So I feel like a lot of this trivia, I'm going to rattle through some. None of this is going to earth shake us, but I feel like this is why I feel like this is the redheaded stepchild of these games. This is the only game in the entire series where Yuko isn't the hero. Like, she's not the active protagonist, the person you play. And this is the only game in the entire series where Lena is the protagonist or the hero or heroine or whatever.
So this is like...
It's a one-off.
Yeah, it's a one-off.
So I guess in the whole game, you're playing as Yuko, and so that's the character you're really invested. You're kind of playing as the sidekick, the sister, what have you. This is the only game in the series where you fight Yuko in both her warrior and goddess form in a boss fight.
Okay.
This is, even though there's, this is technically the fourth one, it's only the second game to ever put on a Nintendo console. The first one being Valis 1 for the Famicom NES. So, this is, I think, I ain't gonna say like Space Mega Force. I feel like it's a core Japanese game.
Yeah.
This is final game from the main series. A lot of the flashbacks in Yuko's flashbacks reference Valis 2. So once again, if you're a fan of the game,
you would understand.
Yeah. Here is a completely useless one. If you hold L and R when turning on the SNES till the title screen and start a game, Lena will have blue hair and a Yuko-like costume.
Oh, so nice little cheat code.
That's a super nerds there.
Nice little cheat code.
A lot of these seem to be PC games too. So, that's pretty much about as good as the trivia got. It was trivia that's pretty much if you're into the lore of it. But
yeah.
I don't think me or you either are.
No.
I kind of feel a little disappointed that we got an Atlas game and that wasn't remotely entertaining to me. You hear so much about it, but I get it. You don't make an omelet without breaking eggs or lemonade without lemons.
Yeah.
So do you want the speed run or the price charting next, Josh?
Speed run.
So
it's ungodly, isn't it?
For me, yeah. So they had easy, normal, hard. They had it on like PC, all this bullshit. But basically, to put it down to it, on a damn Super Nintendo in America, there is only 2 speed runs, and they're both on hard. There's none on easy or normal. I don't think there was an easier. I think there was I believe there was another difficulty. I don't think there was an easy. I think it was a normal and hard. Either way.
I think so too. I can't remember.
You want to get your speed run? Here's your one you can do. Fuck hard, play the easy or the normal difficulty because nobody's did it. There's only 2 people that has completed a speed run on hard, and it is the players are first place is Joe D'Amelio, D'Amillio.
Okay.
And the first thing I think of is like, yo, Joe D'Amelio! None other than Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Ducks guy. I feel like it's straight up Night of the Roxbury. And the guy that came in second is KUBELWAGON 185. No spaces.
Sort of sounds like a radio station.
I feel like it's Kubelwagen 185. I don't know what a Kubelwagen is. Might be like whatever. To each their own. So what would you think of speedrun?
God, I don't know.
I mean, how long do you think if you played this game over and over and over and you completed speedrun, what do you think you'd do? I mean, I feel like I maybe 45 minutes. I mean, I didn't get through the game, so I don't know exactly.
I was about to say, I would think about 50.
I think that's like my best. Like playing it over and over, that's the best I could get. Kubelwagen 4 years ago hung up a very respectable 24 minutes and 39 seconds.
24 minutes.
And 39 seconds.
Okay. Number 1.
Joe D'Amelio.
Joe D'Amelio, Night at the Roxbury. Did you grab my ass?
Sir, it's literally impossible. You cheeky bastard.
I'm over here. I'm on the other side of the room. Did you grab my ass?
It was them damn whippets, got him.
Those
That's what
whippets.
it was.
God, I would say he probably done it in 21 minutes.
He did it in less than 21 minutes.
No, they're okay. I'm telling you, speedrunners are a different breed. I don't know. I don't want to guess.
So the second place guy did it in 24 minutes, 39 seconds. Joe did it in 15 minutes, 49 seconds.
The fuck?
I hope to God there's a damn hack or I don't even know.
Kind of want to see if he has it up on YouTube.
It's on Speedrun. You can watch it on Speedrun. That's one thing. Like, you can see the actual speedruns because they have to turn in the video.
Yeah.
People put it. Now, they also put gods, and there are gods, and there's 2 in the forum, and, these bastards root on for other people. I'll be like, burn in hell, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I spent, 6 months holed up in the basement.
A year
I lost
of
my
my
dogs and my wife doing this. And then you come in, it's probably like some 8-year-old kid that screwed your mom. That's how it always goes.
A Scuba Steve.
But that's kind of the weird part was I don't know what a stranger. Somebody completed this game in 15 minutes? Closer to 16. 11 seconds shy of 16 minutes. Where there's only 2 speedruns. Now, the Japanese version is way more. Well,
I mean, that's probably because it's iconic over there. There's probably a huge cult following. Probably not a lot of Americans or Westerners, as we're called, knows about this game.
I got you. Man, we're blazing through, son. We have absolutely, I can guarantee I can almost pick where we're going to put this game because we do not like this game. I just looked at our time that we got, and it is not good, man.
Is this one of our quickest episodes?
It could damn well be. Like, we played an Atlas game that is about fucking putting a jigsaw puzzle together, and it was way more than this. Okay?
We also played Roger Clemens and spent an hour.
We probably talked more about Untouchables than this.
Tearing that thing apart. Oh, man.
So, we're going to roll on over to price charting. eBay. The value. A loose copy of this, Josh.
Okay. Here's where I'm at with this.
There's a $2.17 difference between what I seen on eBay and price chart.
Okay. So, here's the thing. Do I want to go with the idea of it being a cult classic, a cult following, so therefore the price is up? Or is it so under the radar that it's still relatively cheap?
Well, and only devil advocate more. It's like saying, at one time I thought, like, maybe I'll collect all of the Squaresoft games or the Square Enix games.
Yeah.
And some of them are really expensive. But there's some that are
relatively cheap.
There's some that's cheap.
Yeah.
And
see, that's the other thing. With this being an Atlas game,
I feel like there are people that absolutely 100% only collect Atlas games.
See, and that's the thing.
So is this, does Atlas Square Enix, I don't know, but I feel like Square Enix, Squaresoft, the whole thing, they probably released way more games than Atlas, if I had to guess, but I could be completely out of pocket on that. I probably am, because Atlas has put a shit ton of games when I start thinking. I think they did the Personas and all that.
Yeah, but look at Final Fantasy.
Yeah. But, yeah, I know. Secret of Mana. I'm waiting for one of these. So, you tell me.
And also all the Kingdom Hearts games, too. Those were all Square Enix.
You tell me what a loose copy of this card.
$22.
You're low.
Oh, fucking Christ.
You're low.
49. 53.
You hit it in between. 52.17 on price charting, $50 on eBay.
Okay.
So just saying, it's now in the grand scheme, that's a cheap SNES card. But for the games we played some good ones. That's kind of expensive.
That's very expensive for just a loose, used, dirty, dingy card.
Yes. So what do you think a complete copy runs?
Oh, fucking Christ. $162.
You're low.
Yeah. I even tripled it, so. Let's go 210.
Okay, this is kind of unfair because price charting shows it at $244.38.
Okay.
I've seen them all over the place on eBay. I've seen sold for $694.
Fucking Christ.
I've seen them at $289. I think somebody's asking $1,000. I mean, it's like, I think the $1,000 when somebody said it was new, but they literally had it open with all the pieces out and somebody fucking paid it. And I'm like, that's not new.
That's complete.
You might say open box like new, but
that's not new. You opened it.
I cannot, like, somebody got fucked.
Yeah, no.
Like, and then I almost, like, it's none of my business. I almost want to message the seller and say, like, how is this, like, walk me through this.
Yeah.
I sell a lot on eBay. Like, walk me through here. Because if you sold that motherfucker for $1,000, I need to know what happened.
Yeah.
So eBay was completely all over the place.
Or did he have another one? Like, did he have two? Did he have one that was complete?
Like maybe he took somebody else's. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't get too deep into it. Like, say, maybe I should message a guy. But I know when people message me stupid shit, I tell them to go kick rocks, you know. So I'm very... I'm very descriptive on how I explain to them to leave me the hell alone. So I'd probably get the same. So a brand new copy. Ironically, this is why I feel like eBay is very... I feel like the 244 and 289 is correct because of what the new copies. What do you think a new copy runs? There's a big swing between price charting and eBay.
I was saying with eBay, it's probably like $2 billion.
No. It's strangely entertaining what a new one sold for on eBay.
Then I'm going to say 780.
Dude, you almost hit fucking price charting. Had it at 782. Holy shit. eBay. So there was one on eBay for $1,000 that sold that was new that wasn't new.
Yeah.
I seen one that did sell that was sealed new for $1,100 on eBay. So I feel like that $1,000 is definitely a one-off skewing the market. But I go ahead and tell you, man, if you tell me to buy this cart brand new, buy a copy, buy a complete, or go buy a fucking Mega Man, like this, doesn't hold a candle in the wind to it, man. So at the end of the day, we're just going to say roughly this cart's $50, Josh. I say, hey, I got a 25 burger right here, 25 spot. A damn Jackson and a damn Lincoln. Or I got this cart. What are you going to take?
I'm taking the cash.
I'm taking the cash too, man.
I would feel like a fucking idiot.
I don't think I'd feel like an idiot. I did not enjoy... I mean, I guess just the final word on the game. I didn't care for the game. I did not... Like, the whole thing of it was very clunky. It was... the boss battles really fucked me. But, like, that was the thing that killed me. Is like, the boss battles were pretty tough to me. But maybe you should make the rest of the game just as tough so I could kind of, like, hone my skills a little bit, you know? Pretty excited when we got an Atlas game. And I feel like I do know what the next... I've got the tie-in to these games.
You already got it?
We've overthunk it. I'm simplifying it. So okay. I've got this. I've had this on my heart.
I'll say, just let the audience person... one who listens to us. It's been about 3 weeks due to the holidays.
Yeah, we've had the holidays. So we powered through, and this is what we've had marinating. What's cooking up. What's under the hood. So, did not enjoy the game. No. I could have literally went without ever playing this game. Would not have bothered me one bit. Just not my game.
Yeah, definitely not my game.
If you say you love it, if you told me you love it, I can guarantee you've played more than one Super Valis game.
Yeah.
You've
had to have at that point.
It makes me not want to play a Valis game. So with all that being said, Josh, let's go ahead and jump this bad boy down into some rankings.
Okay.
So far this season, we've had, we're actually even. We've got Gods, American Gladiators, and Sequest. This is games we played. And I think that's probably in the order we played them, if
I think
I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, that's about the order.
So, are we going to run 1 through 10? I know exactly.
I know where this
game
ranks.
is.
Yeah.
So, we can do the 1, 2, 3 and say it at the same time. So, Gods is number 1, American Gladiators number 2, Sequest is number 3.
Yep.
Do you want to tell yours, or do you want to do it at the same time?
Let's go at the same time.
Okay, so say the number on the count of 3, of which
where Valis
Super Valis is. 1, 2, 3.
4.
3.
4.
I put it as 3, man.
No, I went with 4.
Well, you are holding true to it. I'm not saying.
I mean, I probably could have taught you out of it and probably had you move it down, but I didn't want to sway your judgment.
Well, how would you talk me down? Why would Sequest just get inside my head a little bit?
Sequest was a little bit more in depth, and it was a little bit more entertaining to me. There was a more thought process behind it. This was just a strict platformer with a, granted, a dense story, but as far as a standalone game, a shit story, and there was a lot of nothing in between somethings. And then also the hard resets.
Well, maybe I can sway you one way or another. So, I did like the concept. You are correct. The concept of Sequest is better.
Yep.
I feel like Sequest went out on that island, no pun intended, a little bit more than what Super Valis did. I feel like if you put another name on Super Valis, it would have been if you just called it like Super Platformer, SNES, like this game would just be complete. I feel like it's probably pretty torn apart as it is, as far as the series goes, but like it just wasn't a fun game. Now, at the end of the day, what killed me with Sequest is, okay, I remember the TV show. I loved the TV show. You gave me a game where it was like...
It was The Sims.
Yes, it was a lot of financial officing.
Yeah.
And that was not what I wanted in that game. And that's why I didn't enjoy it. At least Super Valis, you got like the superficial part of it. Now, I probably did play Sequest way more than I did Super Valis. But I didn't enjoy that part of the Sequest. Some of the mechanics...
was a bit bullshit.
Yeah, it was some bullshit.
I give you that.
Aggravating. I hated backtracking. So for me, that's why I moved Super Valis up. Now, the whole idea, if you ask me which is perhaps Sequest deserved to be a number 3, yeah. If just on my gameplay, would I rather play Super Valis or Sequest? I'd probably play Super Valis.
Okay.
That's why I gave it the tip of the hat.
Okay.
Now, we're not saying that one of them's complete dog shit and one of them's awesome. One of them's complete dog shit and one of them's complete cat shit.
Yeah.
Like, not great. I'm not defending either one. You're splitting hairs. And at the end of the day, if you go listen to American Gladiators, that opened up my eyes. I love that game, and there's a huge nostalgia. That game was pretty bad, and it is very comfortably in number 2 right now.
Yeah.
Like, the Sequest or Super Valis has not came close to number 2.
No.
There's a gap there.
No.
And Gods was not that great either, to be quite honest.
But it was better than American Gladiator. Just by a slim margin.
If these 4 games, if you had your kids still playing these, which one do you think they would like the most?
Probably Gods.
I think they like American Gladiators.
I don't think they would like American Gladiators. I really don't. I don't think they would enjoy that at all.
They may not, because they probably don't know what the hell American Gladiators. I don't know. I watched the damn YouTube. I
told you about it, and you started watching it. You text me at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday like, I hate you. You got me down here watching American
I was watching the damn finals.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can't remember the dude's name. It was like Sweet Tony or Too Sweet to Try. I don't even know. But, I'm just going to say one thing, though. It was a full hour episode that I watched. And I'm going to watch this while I'm doing like some eBay, while I'm flipping through some stuff. After about 10 minutes, I could set my phone down because everybody was
hooked.
Well, what was killing me was everybody was hurting their knees and shit. And I remember being a kid being like, man, them fuckers, like, they're putting it all out there. I'm like, these fuckers are getting beat up.
Yeah.
Like, but the gladiators were the first ones that would like pick them up, like helping them out. And I was like, I don't know.
Dude, Battle Ball.
Yeah. And there was games that I fucking forgot about in there. God damn that ring game. I know this is a damn Super Valis.
Yeah, that ring hanging.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that was the shit.
It was the shit. And the dude's shoulder was hurting. He's like hanging on with one hand. And bring it back for the third time.
You got a dude hanging there with one hand with a gladiator just full weight, just trying to get him to drop.
Yeah, there is a huge gap between American Gladiators. The game, even though the game isn't great, I'll always have it in high regard. So let's call our shot, I guess. So we've got Gods, American Gladiator, Sequest, and Super Valis. What do you think the next connection is going to be? We're going to get a one-off that has no connection?
Okay, so I thought about this. I really did. All right, I put a lot of heart, a lot of thinking into this. 2 of these games are made off of a show.
Right.
The other 2 technically could be classified as gods or demigods.
Or platformers. Correct. We're all scissored up right now.
We are. So what I'm thinking, puzzle game. Puzzle or trivia.
Okay.
I think we're going outside. I think we're going to go way out.
So you're right. We got 2 off TV shows. We got 2 that's roughly platformers. That are really like, as far as Gods and Super Valis and Gladiator, there's no connection there. So I'm just going to simplify. And people are going to say, this is a bullshit way. How many times have we said, hey, it's going to be like a cartoon or based off a movie or it's going to be a first party? And it's never it because there's so many fucking games.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I know the next game is going to be connected to Super Valis 4.
Because it's going to be an Atlas?
Hang on. I'm marking you down as a puzzle game.
Puzzle or trivia?
So if I said...
I'm going genre.
If I said that the connection is going to be off Super Valis, you're going to say Atlas games. That's what most people would think because we're trying to be smart.
Yeah.
Let's dumb it down.
Okay.
Dumb it down. Think of it as Super Valis 4. We're going to get a game. The first word is going to be super. It might be Super Mario World. It might be, it's super bases loaded, and there is a lot of super games.
There is.
How many have we really drawn? Our connection is going to be Super Valis 4, and it's going to be another game Super is going to be.
If we get this game that I'm holding right now,
dude, there's so many bad super games.
There's no way we would get this one.
There is no way.
By the way, I'm holding Super Mario World.
Let me see this. If you notice on the side. Oh, that's a warranty. I thought it might have been an old Madisonville video sticker on it. So, now, mind you, I bet you there's 80 games, maybe 100 games that
with
have
the word super in the
You got
front.
Super Metroid, Super Castlevania, Super Bases Loaded,
Super Ghouls and Goes,
and we're talking about the good ones. We forgot about the shitty ones. There is some bad ones.
Yeah.
So
you're going to tie it in with the word super.
Super is going to be the first word.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting there and I was like, we're just going to jumble this up. This whole season is going to be completely connected because it's been a weird season so far.
It has.
And it'd only make it a little weirder. And I'm almost going to double down and say it's going to be a super game and it's not going to be a good super game. It's
like Super Bass or something like that.
It's going to be like a game. It's, because like I say, we think of the big first party super games. I feel like we're going to get... I've got to say for sure, super game. I feel like we're going to get a shitty super game.
Super Tetris.
That's not a shitty game, Josh. That is a banger, you son of a bitch. All right, well, I guess we're going to wrap it up here.
Let's see what we draw.
I guess I need to run down. Josh had Gods, American Gladiator, Sequest, Super Valis 4. I got Gods, American Gladiator, Super Valis 4, Sequest.
Yep. Just one slight difference. And honestly, I think it's interchangeable on both of us.
Yes.
I think it really could. 3 and 4 could be rotated back.
When we put it in the grand scheme, I might rotate it around. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Nobody knows.
So, like I say, we're wrapping it up here. We'll see you next week. Hopefully it's a puzzle game. Maybe it's a super game. Maybe it's a super puzzler. I don't know, Josh. I don't know.
I'm fine with that.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya.